You ever stared at a brand new empty Google Cloud account and felt that mix of excitement and, a little bit of paralysis, wondering, okay, where do I even start? Well, if that's you, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down Sam Monroe's The GCP Playbook, which is a truly practical, hands-on guide for building a real production-grade application on Google Cloud.
And this right here, this quote gets to the absolute core philosophy of the book. I mean, so many tutorials show you how to build these small, isolated little demos that you just throw away afterward. This guide, it's completely different. It is laser-focused on building a complete system with all the real-world stuff: high availability, hardened security, disaster recovery, and cost efficiency, all baked in from the very beginning.
All right, so here's our game plan for today, basically following the book's own journey. First, we'll dig into the playbook's core promise. Then, we're going to get our hands dirty laying a secure foundation, which is so crucial. After that, we hit the really fun part, deploying a modern app, before we tackle the realities of operating at scale. And finally, we'll see what it takes to go from a successful launch to long-term success.
So first up, the playbook itself. The big idea here is that cloud services aren't just a bunch of separate tools you use in isolation. It's not just about learning what Cloud SQL does or what GKE does. It's really about understanding how they all connect, how they plug into each other to form a single, cohesive, and resilient system that's actually ready for real users.
And this slide really nails the journey the book takes you on. It promises to guide you from that initial blank slate, that empty GCP account, all the way to a fully operational, secure, and observable application. I mean, it covers everything from the very first click you make in the console to establishing that long-term operational excellence long after you've gone live.
Let's move on to the first major phase, laying the secure foundation. This is where you build the essential groundwork. The book makes it crystal clear that getting these first few steps right is absolutely critical for everything that comes after. No shortcuts here.
Monroe's playbook breaks this down into 3 really clear phases. It starts with the absolute basics: setting up your account, enabling billing, and configuring that core security with identity and access management, IAM. Then it dives deep into building out your networking infrastructure. And finally, it guides you through deploying your first virtual machines.
A perfect example of this foundational approach is how the book handles networking. Instead of just having you roll with the default network, it walks you through creating a custom virtual private cloud, a VPC. This gives you this secure, isolated environment where you define the subnets, you define the firewall rules, ensuring your network is built for production security from day one, not as some kind of afterthought.
So with that solid foundation in place, the playbook totally shifts gears. Now we get to deploying the actual application. This whole section is about leaving some of the traditional methods behind and really embracing the power of containers and orchestration with Kubernetes. And this slide shows the clear evolution the book walks you through. You're moving from the world of traditional virtual machines to a modern container-based architecture using Google Kubernetes Engine, or GKE. And this isn't just a technical change, it's a strategic one. You go from manual scaling and managing an entire OS to a system that's lightweight, portable, and can automatically scale and even heal itself. It's a game changer for developer speed. And this gets to one of the book's biggest themes: automation. It doesn't just show you how to deploy an app, it shows you how to build a full CI/CD pipeline. So you commit your code, which automatically kicks off a build with Cloud Build, which then deploys your new container to GKE. It creates this repeatable, reliable, and consistent path to production every single time.
Okay, so your application is built and deployed. We're done, right? Not even close. The playbook then dives into what is, arguably the most important part: operating that application successfully in a live production environment.
And it covers all the critical domains you absolutely have to master. We're talking about setting up monitoring dashboards and alerts for true observability. We're talking hardening security with tools like Secret Manager and creating secure perimeters around your projects with VPC service controls. It even details specific strategies for optimizing your costs, like automating the shutdown of developer environments. And of course, it shows you how to plan for the worst with disaster recovery and backup strategies.
All right, let's bring it all home to the final chapter of our journey. This is where the playbook brings everything together for a successful launch. And more importantly, it lays out the principles for maintaining a healthy system long after you go live.
Because at the end of the day, the book makes it clear that a successful system requires ongoing discipline. It really boils down to these core philosophies. Automate everything you possibly can. Prioritize security as a continuous practice, not a one-time thing. Actively control your costs. Build for resilience, assuming things will fail. Always be iterating and improving. And finally, document everything so your team can grow.
Which leaves us with this one final thought. You've now seen the structure and philosophy behind the GCP playbook. It's this methodical, step-by-step guide from a blank page to a resilient, production-ready system. The only question is, looking at your own projects, what's the first play you would run?